You think you're living a normal life. You wake up, brush your teeth, drink some water, go about your day. Nothing weird, nothing dangerous, just normal. Except, here's the problem. Normal is killing you, not dramatically, not all at once, but slowly, quietly, in ways you've been taught are completely fine, in ways your parents told you were healthy, in ways your doctor never thought to mention because, well, everyone does them. And that's exactly why they're so dangerous. See, the human body is weirdly fragile when you actually look at the details. It can survive a car crash, but gets wrecked by sitting slightly wrong for a few years. It can fight off infections, but gets demolished by a habit you do every single morning without thinking. Your body is simultaneously a tank and a house of cards. And most people have no idea which behaviors are pulling out the wrong card. So let's fix that. Because what I'm about to walk you through isn't some fringe conspiracy stuff. This is documented, studied, verified. But it's not talked about because it's uncomfortable. It contradicts what we've been told, and honestly, it makes people feel stupid for not knowing sooner. But you're here, so you're about to know. And fair warning, you're probably doing most of these things right now, maybe all of them. And by the end of this, you're going to feel a little betrayed, a little paranoid, and a lot smarter than you were 8 minutes ago. Let's start with something you definitely do. Something so mundane you probably did it this morning. You brought your phone into the bathroom. I know you did. Most people do. It's comfortable. It's private. You're sitting there anyway. Might as well scroll, right? Check some messages, watch a video, maybe even this one. Seems harmless. It's not. Here's what's actually happening. When you bring your phone to the toilet, you're extending your seat time. Normally, your body would finish its business in about 2 to 3 minutes. That's the biological standard. But with a phone in your hand, you're sitting there for 10 minutes, 15. However long it takes to finish that Reddit thread or get through 3 TikToks. And your body is not built for that. When you sit on a toilet, your pelvic floor muscles and the veins in your rectum are under strain. That's just anatomy. The position, the pressure, the angle, it all adds up. Now, for 2 or 3 minutes, fine. Your body can handle it. But 10 minutes, 15, you're chronically straining those veins. You're putting repetitive stress on your pelvic floor. And over time, that doesn't just go away. It turns into hemorrhoids. Not might, not maybe. It statistically accelerates hemorrhoid development by about 400%. 4 times more likely. Just because you wanted to scroll Instagram while you pooped. But honestly, the hemorrhoid thing isn't even the worst part. The worst part is what's on your phone right now. Because bathrooms are bacteria factories. Every flush aerosolizes particles. Every surface is a transfer point. And your phone, it's a sponge. Studies have found fecal coliform bacteria on the majority of smartphones that are regularly taken into bathrooms. The same bacteria found in, feces. And it survives for hours on your screen, which you then press against your face when you take a call, which you touch 80, 90, 100 times a day, which you sometimes put on your pillow, on your kitchen counter, on your desk where you eat lunch. You're essentially taking a toilet brush and rubbing it on your face multiple times a day. And, yeah, you wash your hands. Maybe. Hopefully. But your phone? When's the last time you disinfected that? So, here's the deal. Your 5 minutes of bathroom entertainment is giving you hemorrhoids and smearing bacteria on your face. And you do it every single day without thinking twice. But that's just the start. Because at least with your phone, you kind of knew it was gross, right? Deep down, you suspected. This next one, you think you're doing the right thing. You think you're being safe. You're not. Let's talk about your bedroom, specifically your bedroom door. Most people sleep with it closed. Makes sense. Privacy, keeps the hallway light out, keeps the temperature controlled. You feel safer that way, right? Like you're in your own little cocoon. Firefighters actually recommend keeping your bedroom door closed at night. If a fire starts elsewhere in the house, a closed door can buy you critical minutes by blocking smoke and heat. That's real. That's good advice. But here's what they don't tell you. Here's what most people don't realize. Modern homes are sealed up tight. Energy efficiency, better insulation, airtight windows, great for your heating bill, terrible for your lungs. When you close your bedroom door in a modern home, You're creating what's called a negative pressure zone. Air isn't circulating, it's trapped. And in that trapped air, concentrations of VOCs, volatile organic compounds, start to climb. VOCs are chemicals that off-gas from everyday items. Your mattress, your furniture, the paint on your walls, electronics, carpets, curtains. All of it is slowly releasing chemicals into the air. Formaldehyde, benzene, flame retardants. In a ventilated room, those chemicals disperse. They dilute. No big deal. In a closed bedroom, they concentrate. Studies have measured VOC levels in closed bedrooms versus open ones. Closed rooms can have up to 40% higher concentrations. You're breathing that in for 8 hours straight, every single night. And your body notices. Formaldehyde is a known carcinogen. Flame retardants are endocrine disruptors. Benzene affects your nervous system. These aren't trace amounts that do nothing. These are measurable exposures that add up. You know that groggy, foggy feeling you get some mornings? The one where you slept a full 8 hours but still feel like your brain is wrapped in cotton? That's not just poor sleep quality. That's your brain running on oxygen-depleted, VOC-saturated air all night. Because here's the other thing. When air doesn't circulate, carbon dioxide builds up. You're exhaling CO2 all night. And with nowhere for it to go, the concentration in your room climbs. High CO2 levels impair cognitive function. They trigger low-grade inflammatory responses in your brain tissue. Over time, chronic exposure is linked to memory problems, mood issues, and slower mental processing. You close your door to feel safe, but you're actually sleeping in a low-grade gas chamber of your own making. And the wildest part? You were probably never told this, because it's inconvenient. It contradicts the fire safety advice. It makes people uncomfortable. But your lungs don't care about convenience. Now, if you're starting to feel a little paranoid, good. You should. Because we're just getting started. And this next one, this one's going to make you mad. Because you were taught this. Your parents taught you. Your dentist probably told you. Schools drilled it into your head. Brush your teeth after every meal, right? That's the rule. That's dental hygiene 101. Eat something, brush your teeth. Keep them clean. Prevent cavities. Makes perfect sense. Except it's wrong, not always, but often. And when it's wrong, it's catastrophically wrong. Here's the thing. Your tooth enamel is tough. It's the hardest substance in your entire body. But it's not invincible, and under certain conditions, it softens. Specifically, when you eat acidic foods, citrus, coffee, soda, anything with vinegar, tomatoes, wine, fruit juice, even some salad dressings. When you consume acidic foods, your enamel goes through a process called demineralization. The acid temporarily softens the surface of your teeth. Temporarily. Your saliva naturally remineralizes your enamel over the next 30 to 60 minutes. It's a built-in repair system. Your mouth is designed to handle this, unless you interfere. If you brush your teeth within 30 minutes of eating something acidic, you're scrubbing away your enamel while it's soft. You're literally sanding down your teeth. The bristles act like microabrasives on weakened enamel, and every stroke removes a microscopic layer. You can't see it happening, you won't feel it, but it's happening, and it's cumulative. Do this twice a day for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Your enamel gets thinner, your teeth become more sensitive. You're more prone to cavities, not less. Because you've been grinding away the protective layer your entire life. Dentists have known this since the 1980s. There are actual studies on this. But the brush after every meal campaign was already too embedded in public health messaging. It was already what parents taught their kids. So it just stayed. And now you've been doing it wrong your whole life. The correct advice? Wait at least 30 minutes after eating acidic foods. Rinse your mouth with water if you want. Let your saliva do its job, then brush. But nobody tells you that. Because it's complicated. Because it requires nuance, and public health campaigns don't do nuance. So instead, you've been slowly destroying your teeth while thinking you were protecting them. And speaking of things you thought were protecting you, let's talk about antibacterial soap. You've seen it, probably used it. Maybe you even buy it specifically because it sounds better than regular soap. It says antibacterial right on the label. It costs a little more. It feels like you're being extra clean, extra safe. You're not. You're making things worse. Here's the reality. Your skin is covered in bacteria, trillions of them. They form a microbiome, a protective ecosystem that defends you against harmful pathogens. Good bacteria crowd out bad bacteria. They produce antimicrobial peptides. They train your immune system. They're your body's first line of defense. And antibacterial soap kills them. It doesn't discriminate. It doesn't just kill the bad bacteria. It nukes everything. Your entire skin microbiome gets wiped out, which means the next time you're exposed to harmful bacteria, you have no defense. Your skin's natural ecosystem is gone. You're actually more vulnerable to infections, not less. But it gets worse. Most antibacterial soaps used to contain triclosan or triclocarban. These are chemicals that don't just kill bacteria, they disrupt your endocrine system. They mimic estrogen. They interfere with thyroid function. In men, they measurably lower testosterone levels. The FDA banned these chemicals for consumer use back in 2016. They looked at the data and said, yeah, this is not worth the risk. But here's the problem. Companies just swap them out for similar chemicals. Benzalkonium chloride, benzethonium chloride, chloroxylenol, different names, same function, same problems. And people keep buying it because it says antibacterial, and that sounds like a good thing. But regular soap works just fine. Soap and water remove 99.4% of pathogens. Antibacterial soap removes 99.6%. You're trading a 0.2% difference for a destroyed microbiome and hormone disruption. That's not a good deal. And if you think that's bad, let me introduce you to something even simpler, even more mundane. Something you probably do every single day without thinking. You sit down with your wallet in your back pocket. That's it. That's the habit. You put your wallet in your back pocket, you sit down, and you go about your life. Seems fine, right? Everyone does it. It's normal, except your spine doesn't think it's normal. When you sit on a wallet, even a thin one, you're creating asymmetry. One side of your pelvis is elevated by 1, maybe 2 centimeters. Doesn't sound like much, but your spine notices. Your body tries to compensate. It tilts your pelvis to level things out. That tilt shifts your lower back, your vertebrae adjust. Your muscles on one side have to work harder than the other. And deep in your glutes, there's a muscle called the piriformis. It runs right next to your sciatic nerve. When your pelvis is tilted for hours a day, weeks, months, years, that piriformis muscle gets tight. It starts pressing on the sciatic nerve. And that's when the pain starts. It's called piriformis syndrome. Some people call it wallet neuropathy. Chiropractors see it constantly. It starts as a dull ache in your glute. Then it radiates down your leg. Numbness, tingling, sharp pains that shoot from your hip to your ankle. In severe cases, permanent nerve damage. MRI studies have actually shown measurable spinal curvature differences in people who habitually sit on their wallets. Your spine physically changes shape over time, and all because you didn't want to take your wallet out of your pocket. Ergonomic specialists call this an epidemic among desk workers. It's so common that it's considered an occupational hazard, but nobody talks about it because it sounds ridiculous. My wallet gave me nerve damage. Yeah, it did. But at least that one makes some physical sense, right? You can feel a wallet. You can see how sitting unevenly might be a problem. This next one, though, this one's going to start an argument, because this is advice you've heard everywhere. Wellness influencers say it. Fitness people say it. Your doctor probably says it. Drink water first thing in the morning. Hydrate as soon as you wake up. 16 ounces. Room temperature or warm. Flush out toxins. Kickstart your metabolism. It's one of the most universally accepted health tips out there. And it's screwing up your digestion. Here's why. When you sleep, you're fasting. For 8 hours, maybe more, your stomach is empty. Your digestive system is in standby mode. And your stomach acid, hydrochloric acid, is concentrated and ready. That acid is there for a reason. It sterilizes your food. It kills harmful bacteria. It activates enzymes that break down protein. It's your first line of immune defense in your digestive tract. Now, when you wake up and immediately chug 16 ounces of water on an empty stomach, you're diluting that acid right when you're about to eat breakfast, right when you need it most. Your stomach acid drops from a pH of 1.5 to 3 or higher. That might not sound like a big difference, but pH is logarithmic. A pH of 3 is 100 times less acidic than 1.5. So now you eat breakfast, but your stomach acid isn't strong enough to properly break it down. Food sits there longer, digestion slows. Bacteria that should have been killed start to survive and multiply. Over time, this leads to acid reflux, GERD, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, SIBO. Your stomach tries to compensate by producing more acid later, which causes the reflux. It's a vicious cycle, and it all started because you drank water at the wrong time. Traditional medicine systems, Ayurveda, traditional Chinese medicine, have been saying this for centuries. Don't drink large amounts of water on an empty stomach. Don't dilute your digestive fire. Modern biohackers are finally catching up. But Wellness Instagram is still telling you to drink a liter of lemon water before you even open your eyes. And millions of people do it, every single day. And then wonder why they have heartburn and bloating. Oh, and one more thing. When you chug cold water in a fasted state, it spikes cortisol. Your body interprets it as a mild stressor. So you're starting your day with an unnecessary hit of stress hormone. Great way to wake up, right? But let's keep going, because if you thought that was controversial, this next one is going to make you question every health decision you've ever made. You clean your ears with cotton swabs, Q-tips. Everyone calls them Q-tips, and everyone uses them to clean their ears, even though the box explicitly says, do not insert into ear canal. You've seen that warning, you've read it, and you've ignored it because it feels good, it feels productive. You see earwax on the swab, and you think, good, I'm cleaning my ears. You're not. You're compacting wax deeper into your ear canal. Here's the thing about earwax. It's supposed to be there. It's not dirty. It's not a buildup of grime. It's a protective substance that traps dust, bacteria, and debris. And your ear canal is self-cleaning. The skin inside your ear canal has this incredible property called migratory epithelium. It slowly grows outward, carrying earwax with it. Over time, the wax naturally migrates to the outer ear, where it dries up and falls out. You don't have to do anything. Your ears clean themselves. But when you stick a cotton swab in there, you push the wax back in. You pack it down. You undo the natural process. And over time, that wax builds up. It hardens. It gets impacted against your eardrum. That's when the problems start. Impacted earwax causes infections. It causes tinnitus, that ringing in your ears. It can cause dizziness. In bad cases, it perforates your eardrum. And here's the nightmare fuel. Cotton swabs shed fibers, tiny little fibers that stay behind in your ear canal. And those fibers become breeding grounds for bacteria. ENT doctors, ear, nose, and throat specialists pull out cotton fibers from people's ears all the time. Some patients have had fibers embedded in their ear canal for years. They cause chronic infections, vertigo, hearing loss. One study found that 73% of emergency room ear injuries are caused by cotton swabs. 73%. And yet, people keep doing it because it feels satisfying, because they think they're supposed to. But you're not. You're causing damage, slowly, quietly, until one day you wake up and you can't hear out of one ear, and you have no idea why. So yeah, stop putting cotton swabs in your ears. But honestly, everything we've talked about so far, the hemorrhoids, the poisoned air, the damaged teeth, the destroyed microbiome, the nerve pain, the reflux, the ear infections, all of that is fixable. You can stop doing those things today. You can recover, you can heal. This last one though, this one is different because this isn't just a habit. It's how you breathe. And if you've been doing it wrong your whole life, the damage might already be permanent. Let's talk about mouth breathing. You probably don't even realize you do it. But if you're sitting there right now with your mouth slightly open, you're doing it. If you sleep with your mouth open, you're doing it. If you breathe through your mouth when you're focused, when you're exercising, when you're stressed, you're doing it. And it's destroying you. Here's what most people don't understand. Breathing through your nose and breathing through your mouth are not the same thing. They don't do the same job. Your nose isn't just a backup airway, it's the primary airway. It's designed to filter, warm, and humidify air before it reaches your lungs. But more importantly, nasal breathing produces nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is a molecule that's critical for oxygen absorption. It dilates your blood vessels. It regulates blood pressure. It boosts your immune system. It's produced in your sinuses. and it gets carried into your lungs when you breathe through your nose. Mouth breathers don't get that. They breathe more air, but they absorb less oxygen. Studies show mouth breathers can absorb 10 to 20% less oxygen than nasal breathers, even though they're taking in more air. So you're breathing harder and getting less benefit. But that's just the start. Chronic mouth breathing, especially during sleep, leads to sleep apnea. Your airway collapses more easily when you breathe through your mouth. You stop breathing multiple times a night. Your brain wakes you up just enough to restart your breathing, but not enough for you to remember. So you think you slept 8 hours, but your brain was jolted awake 50 times, 100 times. You never reach deep sleep. That's why you're tired all the time. But it gets worse. Mouth breathing causes chronic low-grade inflammation. Your body is constantly in a stress state because it's not getting enough oxygen. That inflammation affects your entire system, your brain, your heart, your immune system. People who mouth breathe have significantly higher rates of cardiovascular disease, 40% higher in some studies. And then there's your face. This is the part that sounds insane, but it's real, documented, proven. Mouth breathing changes your facial structure. In children, chronic mouth breathing leads to a condition called long face syndrome. The jaw doesn't develop properly. The face grows longer and narrower. The teeth come in crooked because the palate doesn't expand the way it's supposed to. Orthodontists can look at an adult's face and tell if they were a mouth breather as a child. The bone structure gives it away, and it's not reversible. Once your bones are set, they're set. Adults who start mouth breathing later in life don't get the skeletal changes, but they still get everything else. The sleep apnea, the inflammation, the reduced oxygen absorption, the brain fog. And here's the cruelest part. Most people start mouth breathing because of untreated childhood allergies, or a tongue tie that was never corrected, or because they had a stuffy nose for a few weeks and just never switched back. It becomes a habit. And once it's a habit, your body forgets how to breathe through your nose properly. But you can retrain it. It takes effort. It takes awareness. You have to consciously close your mouth and breathe through your nose until it becomes automatic again. Some people use mouth tape at night to force nasal breathing while they sleep. Sounds weird, works incredibly well, but the skeletal damage, the years of poor sleep, the cumulative cardiovascular stress, that's already done. You can stop making it worse, but you can't undo it. And that's the thing about all of this. Every single habit we just talked about, sitting on your wallet, drinking water at the wrong time, brushing your teeth wrong, using antibacterial soap, breathing through your mouth, they all feel harmless. They all feel normal. But normal doesn't mean safe. Normal just means common. And a lot of common things are quietly wrecking your body in ways you won't notice until it's too late. So, here's the good news. You know now. You made it through this whole thing, which means you're already ahead of 90% of people who are still sitting on their wallets, scrubbing their enamel away, and wondering why they feel like garbage. You're not going to be that person anymore. You're going to take your wallet out of your pocket. You're going to wait 30 minutes before brushing. You're going to stop nuking your skin microbiome. You're going to leave your phone outside the bathroom. Okay, maybe not that one, but at least you'll think about it. And you're going to close your mouth and breathe through your nose like your body was designed to do. Because now you know better. And if this messed with your head a little bit, if you're sitting there reevaluating your entire morning routine, good. That means you were paying attention. Hit the like button if you immediately checked your posture. Subscribe if you enjoy finding out you were wrong about things you've done your entire life. And drop a comment telling me which one of these you're guilty of. I'm guessing it's most of them. I'll see you in the next one, where we're going to ruin everything you think you know about sleep. You're not ready.